Hey there everyone, and welcome to another amazing video. So this one I'm just going to quickly show you how to actually change the buffer spring so that you've got your dynamic buffer on there. Okay, so let's get that lighting set and off we go. So the dynamic buffer comes inside one of these just little small bits of packaging, contains a spring and the counterweight. What I have done is I have already swapped out the original, so this one that's inside here is actually the original buffer. So very light counterweight, very light weight there, and this is the original spring as well. So I'm not going to swap them around just to show you, but I am going to show you how to actually swap it to begin with. Okay, so I'm not going to put this back in there. Okay, there's just no point. So anyway, make sure that the upper and the lower are separated, and you're going to need to get yourself just a regular screwdriver, flathead if you've got it, and we're going to try and remove. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's try and focus. Right there. Okay, so right there in the center, which is this bit here, that actually slides out, so it's not actually fastened in. Okay. Now you need to be careful because right here, this is where the buffer spring is, okay, and the weight. And if you, the problem is that if you remove this bit here, this and you're not depressing this is going to fly out. But what it's going to do is it's actually going to hit this part. So we need to make sure that that part is not damaged. So the way that we do that is we depress this. Now, sometimes you may need to get the screwdriver in there just to move it out just slightly, just to lift it. And you can probably see it there, just purely because it is quite tight to move it out. But as you can see, it's already starting to move. So make sure this is, you're still pressing this down. And we may need to just jimmy this a little bit. There we are. Okay, so we've removed it. Okay, so that's the piece. Next, we want to very slowly take this out at an angle so that it's not putting the full weight on that little bit that's right under there. Okay, so as you can see, this is what the dynamic recoil buffer type B looks like. There's not much else to say. This one is a lot heavier than the other one. This one's about 120 grams. It feels heavier in your hand, but it's a hell of a lot heavier than the original. I believe the original one is about 30 gram. They do the buffer type B, which is about 60, and this is 120. So as you can imagine, we're going 4 times the weight on this now. What we're going to do is, in a few videos, we're going to actually fire it. Oh, look at that thread. Disgusting. And we're going to see just how much of an impact it has. So what you would do is you take the whole thing out, which we already done. We pop it back in, again being very careful to do it at the angle so that it's in. Okay, once that's in, we then take our little piece here again. Alright, stay tuned, new bit. Okay, so I did say I wasn't going to swap it out, but I figured it might be interesting to actually see the actual impact that the recoil spring actually has. So first off, let's make sure we're putting the original one back in correctly. So we hold this down. Now, drop it all over the place. Now this bit, okay, we want to make sure that the ball bearing is towards the back of the actual the stock. So like we're making sure that the flat piece, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the flat piece there is going in towards the actual gearbox. So then it should look like that. Okay, so anyway, let's there it is. Let's go and take a look at what it was like with the original one, and then we'll take a look and see what it's like with this one. Hey guys, so this has got the steel bolt in, and it also has the standard or stock buffer spring and buffer weight. So let's see what it looks like, shall we? So it's already been pre-cocked and ready, so now we've got the steel bolt and the dynamic buffer B, version B. I think version B, they say, is supposed to be used, or is more beneficial to use with the steel bolt. So I'm expecting that the normal bolt, you would just use the version B dynamic buffer system. So let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, you can definitely feel it. Now the question is it worth it? And the answer is, it kind of depends. For example, if you've already forked out stupid amounts of money on the steel bolt carrier group, I would recommend going for the version B dynamic buffer. It really does work in unison with that bolt, and it does give a hell of a lot more recoil than the standard GBLS DAS. That being said though, you're spending like close to, well, you're spending about 540 quid basically to get a steel bolt carrier and the dynamic buffer spring version B. If you don't fancy upgrading to the steel bolt carrier, and you're not really that fussed on recoil, you just want that tiny little bit of a push, then you can stick with the stock GBLS, but I would suggest getting the version A buffer spring. So the standard DAS comes with a 30 gram weight. Version A is a 60 gram, and the version B, which is the one I've got in the steel bolt carrier, was 120. So as you can see, it's 4 times heavier than the original. They do recommend it goes with the steel bolt carrier just purely because of the extra weight traveling back and forth, so they kind of work well. But you can easily get away with version A. In that sense, for the amount of money, it's about £94 off Fubar Bundy. Cheers guys for the other one. I would recommend it. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you didn't, leave a quick comment down below. This was done fairly quickly. Like and subscribe if you feel like you want to show the video to anyone else. Just feel free to share it. Comment below. We do actually respond to comments. Maybe not all of them. I'm a little bit lazy, as you can see by the numbers, but still, like and subscribe, and check out our Instagram page as well for sexy pictures. Hope you enjoyed it.